If the numbers work, I would certainly consider it. I think that's what people um, do wrong. They get into trouble when they get emotional about real estate purchases. The numbers have to work on the front end before you get involved for it to work. That's just been my experience. I think that's the experience of a lot of people. They get emotional because they they just really like whatever that property is, or they fall in love with it or have to have it or something. And if the numbers don't work, you're going to regret it. So just don't let those emotions take over.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesill. Today, I'm joined by someone I'm looking forward to chat with, Bree Sullivan-Howell, who is a real estate investor as well as a divorce attorney, helping people manage their real estate assets through that as well. So excited to have you here today, Bree.
Oh, so glad to be here.
Definitely. I think our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're approaching investing and your strengths in organization and marketing. So let's dive in.
Okay, sounds good.
First off, for those not yet familiar with you and your work, can you share what your main focus is?
Well, my day job is working as a family law practitioner here in South Georgia. I handle divorce, child custody, legitimation, parental rights, child support, adoption, that sort of thing primarily. Um, but I got into real estate investing back in 2020 when the rates got low, just as a way to diversify my investing plan. And I've just really loved it. So I advise my clients in that direction a lot of the time now.
Awesome. And what markets do you operate in as an investor?
Well, I'm mainly in my local market here in South Georgia. We have a pretty strong rental market here in my county. And so the vast majority of my properties are here. I've got 2 Airbnb properties locally, and we have a good tourist promotion. Our tourism development board locally does a great job of attracting tourism to our area. So our Airbnbs do really well locally. And I have one Airbnb down on Highway 30A in North Florida on the Panhandle. So that's a more of a short-term vacation market than my local area, but both of them stay rented, thankfully. They've both been good ideas.
Awesome. So you mentioned you got into real estate around 2020. Can you share what your journey looked like to get started?
Well, I just realized when rates got literally to zero and, a little above zero, it became an opportunity. When you look at it on paper, at that point, the prices were not high yet. I think our local market doubled or tripled since then in prices. But at 2020, our prices were still reasonable and the rates were super low, and the could support the outlay of investment and the monthly mortgage that would be required. So I thought this just makes perfect sense. And so I just started investing like crazy at that point.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
With the help of my banker, of course, but it was a great idea looking back and has proven to do very well. You can't do that as much now because the rates went up and the property prices went up and building costs went up. Everything's increased since COVID, of course, but at that point it was a great time to get in.
Yeah, absolutely. And how did you get started? Like, did you work with mentors or take courses or just kind of trial and error on your own?
Well, during COVID, we all were at home. And so I had a little more time than I did when I was in the office all the time to listen to podcasts and read books about investing. And I got some really good materials that I dove into and just sort of got educated on it. I had never thought about investing in real estate before because I thought it was just going to be this big headache. And people naysay it so often as being so difficult to manage practically, just like it's a big headache. So I just never thought about it. But during COVID, I got into the podcasting world, and there are so many great podcasts like yours and like Bigger Pockets. I got into that one, and David Green, and I started following the Kathy Fettke's podcast. I don't know if you know her, but she's excellent, and she gives the updates that are easy to follow. They're like 5-minute updates on the latest real estate investing news. I follow all of those people still. Um, so I think the materials are out there for all your listeners. There are lots of opportunities to get educated.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what do you feel are some of the main keys that made the biggest difference in allowing your business to be able to grow and to continue to run smoothly?
Well, thankfully, I've got a really good manager. I work a lot in my 9 to 5, or actually, it's more hours than 9 to 5, if I'm being honest. So I really needed a good property manager. And without that, I could not have done what I do. My mom manages my long term rentals. She's a realtor and she's managed property before. So she's great with the tenants and stays on top of things like leases and repairs and issues. She does all the busy work for me. I just manage the financial part. And my short term rentals are managed by other managers who are excellent. So I think the key is to have a great manager. Without that, you are strapped to the business and it has to be almost like a full time job. And I think that's when people start getting fatigued with it and give up on it. So I've not had that experience. I've had a lot of help, and that's been a game changer. And the marketing we've been able to do without really having to pay a lot for it has been very helpful. I mean, once you have your properties online and have a presence there in a way that you can promote and share, it becomes a lot simpler. And we've been able to get online in a way that was affordable and effective.
Yeah, definitely. Can you expand on your online marketing strategy?
Yeah, I just didn't want to start a website and have to grow SEO and presence and Google ratings and all of that I've had to do for my law firm. And it took years to build that. So I wanted it to be affordable and I wanted it to be eye catching and get attention. So what I've done is I've joined all of those like Facebook groups for people looking for rentals. And I post there. and that doesn't cost anything. I also have an Instagram page now. It's Tville for Rent with the number 4 in the middle. My town is Thomasville, so I tried to do a little play on words with that to attract attention to all of my vacancies as they come up. So I post them there.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And then I share them to the Facebook groups I mentioned and also to people on Instagram who appear to be looking, or they'll DM me and I connect them with my property manager. And that's just been really effective. The other thing I do when I have a vacancy that I really want to promote on a broader scale is I do a listing on Zillow. I'm sure your listeners do this too or have seen those. It's a great spot to list a property, and you can do it free of charge if you don't want to boost the listing. And boosting it is only, I think, $30 or something. It's not crazy expensive. So what I normally do is just list it there the regular way first with all my pictures and a great chat GPT enhanced description of the property. Once you put that in, you can make a really good description that gets attention. And then I boost it if I don't get a tenant pretty quickly. But again, that's affordable. And every time I've done it, I've had a tenant within 30 days. So I recommend that to your listeners as well.
Amazing. Yeah, I love how simple that is.
Yeah, they make it easy. They really do make it easy.
Yeah, I think sometimes people want to overcomplicate because they don't understand that there are simple ways. So, what are you most focusing now when it comes to solving or scaling to the next thing in your business?
I'm back to education again because the market is always changing. And, right now I'm just bewildered by the interest rates and the cost of everything and the purchase prices. The numbers just are not working on the properties that I'm considering now. The things I like to buy, I can't buy anymore just in this environment. So I'm back to education mode at the moment, just reading all I can, studying the market, studying what's happening with the Fed and with rates and with Trump trying to get those rates lowered. I'm hoping that will happen. And then I'm waiting to see what happens as a result before I dive back in. I'm nervous at the moment about what to do next. I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm waiting. I want to get into commercial if I can figure it out. That's a final frontier for me that I've never tried before. But I see other people succeeding with it, so I'm tempted to try it myself.
Yeah, amazing. So, are you looking to continue to scale and expand and maybe get into these other markets if the numbers do work out in your favor?
If the numbers work, I would certainly consider it. I think that's what people um, do wrong. They get into trouble when they get emotional about real estate purchases. The numbers have to work on the front end before you get involved for it to work. That's just been my experience. I think that's the experience of a lot of people. They get emotional because they they just really like whatever that property is, or they fall in love with it or have to have it or something. And if the numbers don't work, you're going to regret it. So just don't let those emotions take over. I think we have to just keep ourselves in check and make sure we're making good business choices. Um, but that's what I'm hoping to do is find something that's working on paper that I can invest in next that's going to be a long-term investment. I'm not really a fix and flip kind of person. I've done one and I did not enjoy it. Just the process of it isn't it fun? So, um, I prefer to buy and hold and make sure my numbers work on the front end so that I don't have to worry about it again.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense that you found a way that works best for you and your lifestyle.
Yeah, I think it's different for every person. I think everybody has their threshold for tolerance of what they can deal with and tolerate. And some projects are just more trouble than they're worth to me.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
But other people are equipped. Like if you're a handyman kind of person, or you know how to fix things, or you have construction knowledge or licensing, or you're a realtor, you have certain skill sets that a lawyer doesn't have. And you're maybe more used to these hiccups that come up. I just don't have patience for it. So I know myself well enough to know what I'm going to do well with and what I'm not.
Yeah, that's important. What are some obstacles or challenges that you've experienced as an investor and now looking back in hindsight, you can see the lesson that you learned?
Well, back to that fix and flip I did. Um, you have to be on top of your contractors. You've got to watch the progress. You've got to make sure that work is being done. You've got to make sure the invoices are proper and that you're not overpaying. And when you don't have a lot of extra time, like if you're focused on another field of employment you're in, like I am, it's hard to focus on all of those things. So either you need a contractor that keeps impeccable records that, you can sort of trust and or hand off to another manager, or you need to be present every single day, like checking on it to make sure you're being efficient with your budget and with your time and with getting it back on the market as quickly as you can. I think that's one thing, if I could go back, I would do differently with that rehab that I did. Um, I just prefer to rent houses. I think it's just easy. Once you have your systems in place, stick with what you do well. I think that's the main word of caution I would give to your listeners. Know your skills, know your limitations, and focus on the things you do better than the other things in the real estate world. Keep yourself out of real trouble that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's very wise. So, as far as your career as a divorce attorney, I know you mentioned that you also guide people through assets and real estate in that process. Would you want to share a little bit on what that looks like?
Well, yes, I'm also an author. I've written some books for divorcing people just because I saw such a need for literature on the topic. There's not a whole lot for people going through divorce to read about the process and about how to start over and all of those things. Um, but real estate can be a real avenue for wealth creation and growth. And I wanted people to understand that that's something that's possible for them. Even if they don't understand it, you can get educated on it and you can turn a little down payment into an asset worth a whole lot more with someone else's money. Rental property has the ability to grow your net worth considerably and sometimes quickly if you get in at the right numbers. So once I figured that out for myself, I wanted the world to know, really think about that. If you're rebuilding after a divorce, real estate can be a great avenue for that, for you to start over and have your life back on track faster.
Yeah, absolutely. So, is the way that you kind of recommend it for maybe someone that was used to having like more assets with their partner and then they need to, you know, get a income that's more stable, or what does that kind of path look like when you coach people through it?
Well, it's kind of, yeah, it's that kind of scenario often. Someone who has relied on their partner's income as well. Like in every marriage, you are a partnership. So it's everyone's income being pooled. And then you go from two incomes to one, and you're trying to start over alone. Especially for the people getting closer to retirement age, real estate can be a great investment because it creates an income stream for your retirement years. Um, and that's another element of it, more than just asset building, it's an income stream. So you're not having to work as long or as much if you have an income stream that you're not paying for. Your tenant is paying for your income stream, and all you've got is your investment that you put in up front and the mortgage you're paying with the tenant's rent payments. So your numbers need to be right, but if they are, it can be a great comfort to a person entering retirement as a single person.
Yeah, absolutely. That is helpful. Makes sense. So, what are some maybe exciting things that you have in the hopes for your real estate investing journey?
Well, I'm hoping the rates will come down and that the prices will stabilize and that numbers start working a little better soon. I'd like to expand into some different markets. I'd like to consider multifamily housing as a next step if I can make the numbers work. Um, and also maybe the commercial space. I've got a vacant lot that I'm thinking about developing when the time is right. And once I figure out what I want to put there, it's all just kind of an unknown for me at the moment. So like I'm saying, I'm just getting educated at the moment on what to do next and what's the wisest step to take. Um, but there's always hope and there's always a plan for the next thing. You just have to make sure it's it's the right thing before you make a decision. So it's better, I think, to spend a lot of time thinking and planning and considering before you pull the trigger on something that's going to have long lasting implications for your financial portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely. Seems like it's important for you to make sure that the numbers really align before making decisions.
Right. I advise my clients that way often as well. Like you've got to be unemotional. And that's a theme in divorce law as well. You've got to separate those emotions when you're making the financial decisions on dividing property and, making decisions for your financial future. It's all the same analysis. You've got to separate the tendency to make emotional choices from what is wise from a business perspective and a financial planning perspective. Um, I try to
Yeah,
live what I preach to my clients, and it's worked
sure.
well so far.
Yeah, that's very important. Thank you. So, before we wrap up here, if somebody wants to reach out, connect, learn more about what you're up to, where can people find you and connect?
Well, I'm online at sullivan-firm.com and also crushyourdivorce.com. My books are on Amazon, Crush Your Divorce and Keep Your Faith, and Crush Your Comeback for people starting over after divorce. I talk about real estate in that second book a good bit. I'm on Instagram, Lawyer Bree, and I'm on TikTok, Lawyer Bree, if anyone's interested in those two.
Perfect. Well, appreciate your time and your story. Thank you for being here.
Well, thanks for the chance. I appreciate it so much. It's been lovely.
Of course. And for the listeners tuning in, if you got value, make sure that you have subscribed. We've got more conversations with operators like Bree who are building real businesses, and we will see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.